Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever the time of the day you are viewing this episode. I'm gonna say episode twice. Well, welcome to today's episode of the Raw Podcast. I am your host, Rahsaan Corbin II. I am joined by my co-host Omar. Omar, say what's up to the people.
What's up? What's up?
And we're joined by our very special guest today, another FAMU alum, D'Angelo Senat. Say what's up to the people.
Going on, y'all? Honored to be here.
Yeah, not only are we all FAMU alum, but we're also products of the College of Engineering, FAMU FSU. So shout out to them.
Go
uh,
Geese.
go, go geese, go geese. For those of you know, you know. Before we get started, we're gonna begin this episode with an icebreaker per usual. So Omar, kick us off.
Alrighty. So for the first question of the day, we will have, would you rather never experience traffic again or never catch a cold again?
You mind repeating that?
Would you rather never experience traffic again or never catch a cold again?
Man, I would say never experience traffic again. Reason being is because a cold it can delay me from like bringing the energy that I expect to bring. Let's say I have to like present or like negotiate, and with it being the first impression, it can kind of throw someone off. And then like the option to never experience traffic again, I can get to my destination a lot quicker. And that's one of the foundations that I like to do in just life in general is like gain experience from others. So like this is why I value this podcast where you all are allowing individuals the opportunities to learn from others who's already been there and kind of take from their experiences to get to their destination quicker. So definitely never experience traffic again.
Oh man, he turned into a philosopher on the icebreaker. We didn't get to the questions yet. It's okay though. It's okay though. I'll be honest. I never want to experience a cold again because might put me out of commission for a day or two. But I'll get back to it.
Alrighty. So for the second thing, where is it? Would you rather be handed $300 every week or never wait in a line again?
Never wait in a line again. 'Cause, time is valuable. Time is money too. And I would hate for like, let's say I'm in line for food and it's already made. The longer I'm in line, the higher the chance is of that food being cold. So yeah.
I'm taking that $300. I'm sorry. I'm taking that $300 every week of my life.
Give me my money.
Look, that $300 is already paying my car payment off for 2 weeks, so we could.
Bro. Bro.
I'm taking that $300. So wait, hold up, whoa. All right.
Yeah.
Last thing. Would you rather live in the past with all the knowledge you have now, or be transported to the future with no knowledge of what to come?
I would rather live in the past because I can take the knowledge I have now and let it compound.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm be
Rob?
like, hey yo, let's see how far back we can go. I'm not gonna lie, if it's like 20 years ago, well, how old am I? 23. I lost track of how old I am. I don't know. Maybe I'll like help out with some some decisions with the lottery and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I don't condone any fraudulent behavior, by the way. Just putting that out.
You're the reason why kids be calling us old because you forgot your own age. That is crazy.
Bruh.
You got dementia at 23. That is
no. It's so much going on. I just woke up not too long ago. So my brain is still rebooting. I still got the little updated thing over my head.
It's okay to be in the denial stage of dementia. Okay, we'll get you some help.
Nah, don't wish that upon me, bro. Don't wish that upon me.
We'll put you in a nice nursing home. They'll take care of you. You can get your steak, smoothies, and everything that you want to.
Steak? I don't need a steak, bro.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're all vegan. How's that going for you?
I was vegan for context. I was vegan for a week. I'm back to vegetarian. I like eggs too much. I like it. They got the cafeteria at the place I work. I'm getting the eggs. And it'd be filling me up for the morning, holding out till lunch. I get
The
eggs.
omelet, that omelet be good. I'm not gonna lie with you. The omelet in the morning time actually do sound good. I'm about to take your idea now.
Anyway, appreciate you for participating in the icebreaker. And Omar, thank you for leading the icebreaker. Now it's time to
No
get
problem.
into the beef of the kind of funny how I just said get to the beef and I don't even eat beef. But anyway, we're gonna get to the beef of the of the interview. So D'Angelo, could you give us a little bit of background about yourself? Like where you from? What'd you major in? Where you went to school? Well, we already talked about where you went to school. I said we were all FAMU alum. Why you chose FAMU, and I think I put the same question twice. Why you chose FAMU and what drew you to attend? But yeah, we'll just go with where you're from and what'd you major in and why FAMU.
Right. So I'm from Broward County, Florida. The city is Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I majored in industrial engineering at FAM, and I also have a master's in engineering management at University of Central Florida. So honestly speaking, out of back in high school, I was playing football. Goals was to go to the NFL up until I had a knee injury, and then out of all the schools I've applied for, FAMU was the first to accept me. And then growing up, like I was just, like many of us, is on a search to reach generational wealth, find like freedom and like figuring out like what it is that we want to do that we're passionate about. So when I attended orientation at FAM, because at the time I wasn't educated on HBCUs growing up. So honestly would have missed out because my experience at FAM was amazing. It took for one of my mentors and I also call her my school mom, who was a teacher at my high school. Her name is Sonia Fuller, to kind of catch me up on the history of HBCUs and school me up on FAMU. And she connected me with a lot of individuals in her network who shared like their experience at FAM. But it took for me to go to orientation and go on a tour, check out the engineering school, and just figure out like how rich the culture, the history is, and then let alone I'm attending an institution that's going to school me on my history so that I can better know myself. And then on top of that, the engineering program is co-joint with the PWI, so I get to have the experience of both both sides and both backgrounds to really get a better understanding and feel of what it's like. And that really prepared me for like interning in just the real world and the different politics from the different types of institutions to navigate. And I'm glad that I chose FAMU, and I've basically had a full ride scholarships to attend FAM through like private nonprofit institutions that invested in me, because capital is one of the issues that I was trying to figure out how to fund school so that I'm not distracted on like figuring out how I'm going to pay for tuition. So I'm glad that FAMU and other organizations that support that institution took a bet on me.
That's dope. And you kind of took the words out of my mouth with the why you attended FAMU in terms of the engineering program, because I think that was the deciding factor. I was between North Carolina A&T and FAMU, and because they're both really good engineering programs within the HBCU space, and I wanted to attend the HBCU, but the final factor was engineering schools, joining with Florida State. I feel like I get the best of both worlds, get into like I always tell people the engineering school is kind of like corporate because like everybody under the sun under there. Like you get, no matter whose background it is. Whereas FAMU, you're around your people. So I'm getting the best of both worlds. So it's like I go to work and I go home kind of thing. That makes sense. But I did learn, professional skills on both sides of the spectrum. But, FAMU was more the me getting involved and staying involved for the fun part of campus because, I was at the engineering school almost all day. Like y'all could probably attest to it. And yeah, but yeah, I appreciate you answering that question. So what made you want to attend UCF? Was that always in your timeline for college?
Had it all. So after graduating from FAM, I went to work full time at an aerospace company in Orlando, and I was trying to figure out like what opportunities that they have that I can leverage. So they had a tuition reimbursement program where they would just cover my graduate program, and since UCF was across the street, I was like, let me go ahead and leverage that opportunity to get another engineering degree to strengthen my resume. And because I was still on my journey trying to figure out like what my purpose is, so that would allow me to like buy more time and also focus on productivity and not just being outside.
Got you. Got you. And what was the company you were working for when you were in Orlando?
Command Aerospace.
Say that one more time.
Command Aerospace.
Got you. Got you. And how long did it take you to get that degree for graduate school, master's engineering?
It took me 2 years.
2 years.
Started back
Okay.
in 2020, 2020 and finished in 2022.
Okay. Well, congrats on that. I know it's 2 years late, but you know what I'm saying? Congrats on that. Congrats on all your accomplishments leading you to today. How would you rate your experience, being in the real world now, like from working full time, going back to school to doing what you do now? How would you rate your experience and would you
Yeah,
change anything?
man. I honestly would rate my experience a 10 out of 10. I know that's high, but the reason being is because um like many of us from our communities, we come from like, low income, or our peers growing up didn't make it as far as us. They would probably get distracted and just fall victim into peer pressure, where they let the environment kind of limit them and like how far that they go. So when I made it to film and got my first engineering internship, like I was getting paid a lot of money, right? So I was getting paid about $28 an hour, and I was making more money than my parents, right? During the summer. And so I just kind of just took my curiosity and just went around like these companies and connected with the subject matter experts that were in the positions that I wanted to be, like some of the CEOs, head of engineering, and just kind of learned about their journeys and how they got to where they were. Because one of the things I was like I made a goal for myself was understanding how they got there in order to sustain where I'm at, so that I can like progressing and moving on up. And what that led was for me to really understand that like, this is not for me. Reason being is because a lot of the subject matter experts were not happy due to executives pushing down their ideas, not implementing what they suggested for some of the projects we were working on, in which led to subject matter experts being right about the projections of the risk of not doing it this way with the data, and they lost millions of dollars for trying to just push their ideas because they're the leader. I just started to think about what it would look like if roles were switched, right? Where these executives were open and empowering their employees, the subject matter experts that they hired, to do their job and have faith and trust in that their suggestions are legitimate, right? So because these subject matter experts pretty much took the downfall, right? So like, although executives went the route that they wanted to go, they would blame it on our teams, and that's just not ethical in my opinion. But when you speak up towards that, this whole hierarchy of individuals being on a higher seat, and when you speak up and challenge them, they look at it as negativity. They want to hold you accountable in the wrong way, but they don't want to be held accountable based on the facts and data. So that just pretty much led me to dipping and dabbing and starting my own startups, because I was now that pivoted my journey from wanting to just be an engineer to challenging my entrepreneur spirits and just trying out ideas to eventually start my own company full time and get on that journey to freedom. Because
Gotcha.
when I was interviewing a lot of individuals on my team about like, what if you could start your own company? Let's say money and resources wasn't an issue, what would your life look like? They said they would take a risk on themselves and pursue their passions and making it a business. Because that's basically what a lot of the companies we work for started with someone who had an idea. They built a community around them, and now they're a conglomerate company with many other individuals, pushing their dreams as far as they can. So that really opened my eyes.
Got you. Excuse me. Sorry. So the next next phase of the interview is entrepreneurship. But I do want to take a step back real quick. Can you talk about your on-campus involvement when you were at FAMU and if you had any leadership experiences?
Yeah, so my leadership experiences was in NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers, where I've had the opportunity to lead as torch chair. So basically, I had the opportunity to give back to the community, participate at events like NIMS Middle School, also leading the Walk for Educations, where we'll bring out the NSBE community from both FAMU and FSU to spend time and break bread with kids in the community, showing them science experiences, talking about like our role and experiences at school, the value of attending school, and also from our perspectives of being engineers, and then showing them like, hey, we look just like you, and you can do this too. And outside of the formulas and the equations, it's like we built a community where we can share our challenges with individuals that's already been there and kind of get help, right? And recommendations on professors. So I think, well, I strongly believe NSBE has allowed a lot of us to find community to keep going, especially in those trying times of the classes that were like super challenging, but also being able to taking a humanistic approach, spending time with the younger generation, and kind of allow us to reflect back when we were in their shoes and where we are now, which is fuel when we're like facing obstacles, trying to figure out how we're gonna pass these classes. And the experiences from NSBE and being a torch chair was it really like also helped me on my entrepreneurship journey too. From just being able to collaborate with the executive boards, creatively thinking about how getting individuals in the NSBE group to participate on our events, and it all like happened piece by piece. If I think about it.
Yeah, that's great. Definitely. I know planning takes a lot of time, not necessarily a lot of time, but it takes a lot of, processing when it comes to planning out stuff for not just your individual life, but your entrepreneurship life as well. So I do think those skills overall are transferable. Leadership skills, I can attest to that. I can attest to the social side of things. They will help you with your people skills for sure, and planning as well. But I do remember when planning out Walk for Education, it was a great event. When I was programs chair back in 2022 is when we had a Walk for Education, and not only we expanded it this year or that year. So we did more than just bring out the NSBE community. We did our best to bring out, the engineering school organizations, the FSU organization, the family organizations. Um, so yeah, it was a great community event. And after even like in between activities when the kids were walking around and stuff, like organization would be talking to each other, building that community within themselves. So I think that's very important within the entrepreneurship community, leadership community, all the above. Just like you said, breaking bread and showing that we're more than just, nerds on a laptop at a separate building from Florida State and FAMU. So, yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Appreciate your time in NSBE. And Omar was actually on e-board with me when I was vice president. He was our senator,
That's
one of the
awesome.
senators. So,
Ugh, that job was amazing, but also stressful. I'm
That's
not
what
gonna lie with you.
yeah, but now we're gonna dive into the entrepreneurship journey. So you did talk about you already did talk about what inspired you to be an entrepreneur, and you also touched on, like dibble dabbling and like initiating ideas. But can you list some of those initiating ideas or initial business ideas, and then what you're doing now?
Absolutely. So The first reason why I started dipping and dabbing in startups first started from freshman year of the COE college career fair, college of engineering career fair at FAMU FSU, where the recruiters all rejected me, right? Just because of the fact I didn't have engineering experience. And I just had like my football background on my resume. I didn't have like the insight to understand how to, tweak up the resume and make sure it's attractive. So that just led me to going down a journey of starting my own startup to gain some experience quickly to prepare for the following summer. So the first startup was called Gigalize, where my college roommate and I, Terrence, we created a marketplace to connect small businesses to one another to share their data to gain insights on the other businesses that's in their industry strategies and learn what they're doing well to make better business decisions to make more revenue. And although that didn't work out, we pivoted to a company called Runaway. It was basically an online influencer marketplace where we connected small businesses to influencers who were basically college students, where we would help them navigate the complexities of social media ads. And pivoted from that because we so like another issue that startups tend to have too is where their team isn't a fit. So our team wasn't a fit. So it's super important to make sure that your team is in alignment with the mission and vision because the journey is tough. So the journey being tough and you're pursuing a passion that you pursuing something that you're passionate about is extremely important, especially during the trying times. So I pivoted from Runway after identifying the needs of businesses needing to like own and run their online community platform. So social media was a place where it started as a community where individuals would connect with their peers, family members, and have deep conversations and in a authentic purview. Now it's a place where marketing teams are competing, right? They're trying to sell their products, spending a lot of money on ads. And we're still, trying to connect with our communities, but our feeds is just full of a mixture or abundance of content where it's kind of hard to really do that. And then for like companies that's on those platforms that's looking to connect with their community, they have to worry about their competitors having access to their people. So like basically these platforms are, selling their users to the highest bidder, right? The more money you spend on ads, the higher your chances are of getting more customers. And those customers are coming from your competitors and the list goes on. But we started to see the rise of private community platforms such as Discord. You also have like Mighty Networks. Facebook groups is another one, but tons of private community platforms where businesses are migrating to these platforms because they value the privacy that they can have with their customers and supporters to have deeper engagement that will lead to them having a better understanding on what the needs of their customers are, and their customers can also be heard. So I noticed that a lot of these private platforms had a lot in common from features, and their differentiators were not that huge. So I found our team basically found like an avenue of how we can differentiate AllPeeP from these platforms, which is basically providing our customers ownership of the platform by ensuring our tech stack is open source where they can own the codes. Because one of the pain points is that when communities move over from one platform to another platform, they lose the data, they lose the conversations because they don't have the ability to export all their conversations to the other platform. So they have to start all over each time and build their communities from ground up. And when we're speaking about like small businesses that don't have a lot of staff, it's hard to do that work, sell their products and services because they don't have a lot of staff. And so we're looking to revolutionize the online communication industry when it comes from like social engagement by providing organizations that ownership of the platform and also like access to other developers and organizations to build on top of that. So we're not looking to finesse them by owning the platform and leaning towards algorithms that is more so for the technology company, but more so empowering their brand and ensuring that it's existing in their platform and not ours. So it's tough, man, but definitely something that I'm passionate about. When I look back at my other startups that I co-founded, it has something to do with social media or like the sharing and better insights of data. So I'm right where I should be.
All right. So some takeaways I got from your spiel. So number one, I'll say constant adaptation, knowing when to move on to the next idea. And problem solving, of course, goes in with that because I think engineering prepared you very well for that. And then also having a strong team around you. So first, we'll go this one by one. So constant adaptation. How'd you know when it was time to take the? How'd you know when those times were needed for that self reflection of okay, we're good with this idea, it's not working out the way I planned, or it's not going the right direction. Let's go on to the next one. Like, what was your thought process when you did that?
Yeah, so it all reflected back on our internal team and like the overall morale. So started to see changes in excitement, right? So like with the first company, Gigalize, we started to notice like indicators from like where we're going back and forth because we can't solve the issues of getting these clients to pay us. And like although they found that it was valuable, they just didn't have the capital to fund our project, and that led to us deciding that like, hey, we're hitting this rock, and we've gained all we can as it pertains to leveraging Excel to compile like the analytics based on their insights, and then from there, creativity was capped out. It was limited, and then I was like, hey, why not we pivot to this whole influencer marketing thing? So we started to send out surveys to those businesses that we were connected with and other businesses in the community to talk about what their pain points are. And we would mention the value proposition of Gigalize compared to Runway. And a lot of them didn't have social media accounts. They, because the lack of understanding of how to leverage social media to grow their audience and get more sales because they're used to like face-to-face marketing. And that pretty much those indicators was pretty much like, hey, this is a bigger problem than the problem that we've had with Gigalize. So why not pivot to this and see how that works out? So that led us to spending more time on social media versus Gigalize. We were spending more time on feet, reaching out to businesses, getting them to connect with one another and building out our product. But our Runway allowed us to really spend more time with our customers and then assess the up and coming influencer marketing companies and marketplaces to get a better understanding on that problem. And then as far as the size of the market was much bigger on within influencer marketing, and it was a lot more innovative because the data sharing industry has been here for ages. Like a lot of technology company, another stream of income for them is selling the insights and data for their users. But that tend to happen under the table. It's not something that's typically public. So the problem we were solving as far as creating a marketplace for businesses to share insight, it was a lot complex and complicated. And it wasn't like top of the funnel problem for those businesses where like, hey, I would love to get the analytics of our competitors across the street. They're more so focused on how do I make more money, right? So with influencer marketing, leveraging the network of other individuals to purchase your product and services or come shop with you resonates a bit more like, hey, we can get more foot traffic at your doors. Oh yeah, that's been a problem I've been trying to solve since my doors open. So once we started to get those feedback from those customers, and it was a lot easier for them to understand our value prop from that standpoint, made it even more realistic um as far as like how we can make revenue with this venture versus the other one, because our go-to-market strategy for Gigalize was going to like farmers markets and events where vendors were, but they're not trying to hear that. They're trying to figure out how many customers they can get to buy their products at the farmers market. So we were like stuck in the product versus like on feet talking to a lot of customers, and Runway really allowed us to see that. And then it got me closer to understanding the pain points of traditional social media platforms versus private community platforms to figure out the venture that I'm doing right now with AllPeeP.
Got you. Thank you. So we're gonna wrap up here with a few more questions and closing remarks.
Right.
Um, so for one, how important is it to you to have a strong team, and like what qualities do you look for in people when asking them to be a part of the team or your journey, I'll say.
Yeah, so it's brutally important. Reason why I say that is because you're day in and day out, you're feeding off your team to get action items completed to either make your stakeholders happy, such as your customers, your investors, and individuals that is advising you. So it takes a team to go extremely far. Starting out, it was just myself, and I was pitching to a lot of investors. And then I connected with my co-founder and CTO, who was actually building the product. And then it became a lot more challenging starting out because I have to share the vision, the mission until we can come to a point that we're aligned versus like when it was just me, I can just knock a lot of stuff out. And it seemed like I was moving fast. But when my co-founder Christoph came on board, we were moving slow starting out, but once we started clicking, we're moving a lot quicker. And initially, it really took us sharing our past experience with previous startups and learning from each other's experiences, and then setting an expectation. Like we need to make sure that we can work under pressure because there's a lot of pressure when it comes to like building a business or pursuing something that you feel strongly about. And after like doing an escape room to decide if we were a fit, as we would work under pressure, but we had to troubleshoot with each other. It was like, hey, why not go full out on this business? And then as we started to invite more people on the team, some of the core values we look for from individuals is like true grit, like being able to have like a background where like you faced obstacles, but you persevered through it for like a strong reason. Other things are like accountability. Like myself, I really expect the team to hold me accountable and confront me. It takes me back to internships and working for other companies when executives were coming at like experts with disrespect. And when we would step up to try to hold them accountable, they didn't welcome that. So then that led to, employees being quiet, not wanting to talk because they need the paycheck. They have families. They have to, provide. Another one would be a collaboration. So being able to like collaborate, although like so we had some individuals on our team that came on, and they were like more so quiet. You know how typically when you first start working for a company, you may be a little standoffish because you're trying to learn and assess things and don't want to speak too early because you may not want to be judged because you don't understand. So like really it took me to stand out of, the leadership lens and have to go into collaboration and open up and be vulnerable and share like, hey, this is a space of collaboration. Definitely feel free to ask questions. If you have 1,000 questions to ask during this meeting, feel free to do so because those questions can lead to us reiterating or fixing the issue that we haven't seen. And everyone on this team have a diverse, perspective and background. So like your life learned experiences can really help us move a lot quicker rather than like we hit an issue and then you start talking about like, yeah, I noticed that before, but I didn't know if I should have spoken up. So basically taking my life learning experience to turn those core values into like around the company, but also asking the team, like, what do you think about these core values? Does it resonate with you? So another core value would be integrity, empowering, innovation, and sustainability. And all of these core values pretty much they can translate to other aspects. I wanted something to be clear, but also it can align with individuals from different backgrounds because there's a lot of other core values and words that resonates with individuals. So I didn't want to be too limiting. But those core values and true grit really is the things that I look for in our team. And then another thing that I also do is I do weekly and monthly check-ins to ensure that the team have all the resources and tools that they have. Because me being founder and CEO, my core responsibility is to ensure that the team itself is well taken care of, from resources and tools that can be like they're getting paid at least enough of what they're worth, until we get to a certain point of sustainability to provide them that. And any like issues or challenges that they may be experiencing at home that may affect their work. I don't try to get too nosy, but I just offer the platform. If they do want to talk, we can connect them with some of our customers who are in the well-being space that can provide them coaching. Because if you're not at your best or working on to be at your best from a well-being perspective, that'll show in your work. And then the work was seen forceful rather than like organic and something that you want to do. And then capital is typically an issue for like companies starting out. So I want to make sure that as far as like us being able to collaborate and work amongst each other, we're actually enjoying the people we work with and like the work that we're doing. So I try to do my little part to ensure that the well-being aspect and people feel respected and empowered to do their work. And so far we've been able to sustainably do that. It's an up and down roller coaster, of course, but making sure that we hold each other accountable. If someone steps out of line, or if I step out of line, I get checked, because no one's perfect and we're always learning. But I really think being able to have that platform to share and everyone feel like respected is a great starting point to eventually get to a point of being $1 billion company and being able to give back and be of service to others. And really take open-mindedness too as a leader, because at times like there's no such thing as dumb questions, but some questions may come off as dumb, and those can really lead you to the treasure box. So like being open to like really understand where individuals are coming from, and then providing like your thoughts and your perspective on things to eventually get to the end goal. Because just because we have a plan, that doesn't mean like things will turn out exactly what we plan. So being able to pivot and reiterate is key, especially when you're being intentional.
Got you. So I have one more question, then we can do closing remarks. One question I forgot to list. You talk about how you maintain the company and how you make sure everybody on the team is good. But how do you take care of yourself? Like what is your keys to well-being for you, and what keeps you here, like motivated and stuff?
Absolutely, because if I'm not at my best, then the chances of the company being at its best is a lot harder. So I'm a man of faith. I believe in God and Jesus Christ. So I do a lot of prayer walks in the morning, man. So prayer walks meaning that I spend time with God, talk to Him about my day, my plans, and make sure that I am intentional, and I strategize on the meetings I have coming up for the day as well as the week to ensure that I've done all I can as far as research. I'm well prepared for these calls, and also like sleeping, resting. Um, I'm not where I want to be at my best, but the goal is 8 hours, so I do set myself a curfew. Although there's nights where I'm pulling all nighters, but I do prioritize sleep, time alone to walk and really think things out, because it's important that as leaders with ideas that we maintain the mission and vision and reflect on the actions that's taken. And that has allowed me to really spend time away from work and really reflect back on how I can be an impact, and also spending time with like my family members, and being being clear that I'm also spending time with family, learning about our history, and connecting the dots with things also allowed me to take time away from work. And I also try to also like travel and step out to ensure that I'm also like going out, seeing new things, learning about other histories and other communities. And it always reflect back on what I'm doing at work, but it also allows me to step away from work and see how like everything around us, like our surrounding connects in some way with what we're doing. So that really allows me to kind of just rejuvenate, if that makes sense.
Got you. Yeah, the well-being is always great to have because at the end of the day we're human, and we're at the end of the day we're control of our own life. We don't always have our parents there to make sure, did you eat? Are you sleeping? Are you in bed? You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, little stuff we don't think about until we're older, especially learning in college, and now we're grown and on our own and stuff. But D'Angelo, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to be on this platform and provide your insight. Do you have any closing remarks for the viewers watching?
Yeah, well, first off, thank you for the opportunity to the both of y'all. And like this platform is extremely important in ways that, as I was saying earlier, individuals can like learn from others' experience and a trial and error, try it out and see what works for them. But as far as closing remarks, I would say if you have a burning desire or a passion that you want to pursue, definitely take the leap and the net will appear. And what that means is take the risk, bet on yourself. And when you do that, folks that align with that, who have the resources and tools to help you out, will be those individuals to hold the net. And always leverage your network first. For me, it took my network of mentors, students at the schools I went to connect with, stay in touch, and provided introductions for me to find customers and investors and etc. No matter what we do in life, it's gonna be hard. So just choose your hard and make sure it's something that you enjoy, and that'll make it a lot more sustainable for you to continue and like pivot if you have to. But definitely bet on yourself. Best thing I've done so far.
Yeah, see how it turned out. You went through
Yeah,
multiple ideas and now you found your niche. And it's amazing
absolutely.
to have you there. Omar, do you have anything you want to close out with?
Um, D'Angelo, I appreciate you for coming on. You have been amazing, and for hearing that you actually take the time to care about how your employees and your coworkers and your team is going through stuff, and you're actually taking the time to understand them, give them the opportunity just to be themselves, and give them that flow to say, "Hey, this is your time to come to me, speak about anything, and not be judged on it." That's what sets your company apart from most companies these days, where you're seeing the human for who they are and not just the property or the product they're working on. And that is going to get you so far in this world. And I appreciate you for doing that, especially with your team.
Thank you so much, seriously. Cause like my experiences so far and like speaking to those companies at the top, revenue is still an issue for them, right? They're still trying to figure out ways to make money. So I intend not to succumb myself or the team on like solely focusing on revenue. Like it's important that what keeps doors open, but we have to be at our best internally. And if we're not, it's going to be even harder for us to get to that point. So definitely trying to stand on those foundations and being of service. And we got to remember where we come from, right? And that's really how we get to connect with those individuals. Like the sales that we close are typically when those customers relate to like our experiences and the problem that we're solving, and then like understanding what their problem is rather than like, hey, we can help you with this. But you
Yeah.
haven't even asked me about my issues or my experience with the issues. So like definitely being able to connect with individuals at a personal level, being respectful too, but like it takes you a long way. And I would say right now I'm a leader with thoughts. I'm not a thought leader, especially with us revolutionizing this industry. So a lot of the things that we're doing is new, but you can go farther with a community of folks that got a lot of experience, and also folks that don't. They're gonna come in the game with like questions that shoot we haven't thought about. So
Yeah,
nah,
questions and new ideas.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I appreciate y'all, man. Really, really am. I know y'all are going for it, man. Y'all went to FAM by way of FAMU, FSU, COE. So definitely
Yeah.
looking forward to meet y'all at the top, man, for sure.
Yeah,
Yes,
in my
sir.
opinion, we're already at the top because we're always at the top of our game. And, the hills just get higher and higher. I think
I
it was it Lil Wayne. He said the top gets higher the more that I climb.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, thank you for being on. Take time out of your day, D'Angelo. Looking forward to seeing all your work. I follow you on social media. Do you want to give a shout out to social media platforms real quick for AllPeeP?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. So follow us on Instagram, Twitter. It's at AllPeep, ALLPEEP_. And you can also find us on LinkedIn and Facebook at AllPeep, ALLPEEP, as well as TikTok. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're on TikTok too. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. But yeah, once again,
All
thank
them.
you. Yeah, shout
We'll
out
put
all the
it.
platforms. It'll be in the link. It'll be in the link,
It'll
or
be
it'll be like a little right here. I don't know where it'll be. Right here, whichever. But it'll be in the link in the description, and you'll be tagged on the Instagram post when the flyer gets put out. But yeah, once again, D'Angelo, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's one rattler to another. We come from the highest seven hills, the college of love and charity, and that's what we're giving to the world. But yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, thank you for tuning into this episode today. If you like today's episode, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend, especially if they're an aspiring entrepreneur. They might get, a little gem or two out of this interview episode. But until then, we'll see you on the next episode and take it easy.
Blessing. Appreciate y'all.
Oh.